Good morning. This is Mercedes Warrick, and we are on the 7-day countdown. Who would have thought it? It is day 28 of Journeys into the I Am Mind, 36 channels in 36 days. I am this morning sort of prep was very interesting. There was a lot of organizing thoughts going into my mind. It was like, I can't believe there's only 7 days left. And I was thinking, we got to make sure we do this. We've got to make sure we do that. And it's very interesting because there is absolutely no organization or no system. It is the spirit system. And there's no rhyme nor reason, at least from my point of view. I don't have a things to do list or a things to talk about list. So it was very interesting that this morning I was trying to gather and collect, remember this and don't forget that. And so that was interesting. A shiny object yesterday appeared in the form of 2 words, spiritual truth. I was in class yesterday, and we're doing spiritual mind treatments at this spiritual center here, and for some reason the word spiritual truth really resonated. In the Soul Inspired Tune-Up, we talked about standing in the force of your conviction, which was standing in basically your spiritual truth, that which you know to do, and that which is, we will use this word right for right now, but that which is right for you. Maybe we would say even right order. But definitely you have something in mind and you're standing in your force of conviction, or you're standing in this case your spiritual truth, to know that you have the in-power to activate it, bring it forth. So that was sort of the shiny word yesterday. Some phrasing around spiritual truth. And then in yesterday's channel as well, as the I am, I command that. And that word command. And the first time I used to actually, this idea of declaring or commanding, and I do not like the word personally demanding. I think that's a different energy. And I used to cry because long time ago, when I got the instruction through spirit, really, to demand, I think the words were at the time, which is what had me upset. I didn't get command until the first time I heard command was when I took my theta training, and Vienna Steibel uses the phrase in theta, creator of all that is, I command. And she has some reasoning around why that phrase was the phrase that she selected. And in her early years of trial and error and going through her evolution, she ended up with the words command and creator. So yesterday, when it sort of evolved and kind of slipped out, really, command, I put it in the percolator a little bit, so we'll see what Spirit has to say about that. The reason why I used to cry is because I have such an intimate relationship with my guides, and especially the ones early on that called me little one. Every time I think of them, I mean, even just talking about them right now, I could feel this sort of the emotion bubbling up, because they were such nurturing energy, and I didn't want to demand anything from them. I felt that we were in partnership and collaboration. Actually, at that point, I wouldn't have even called it partnership, but they were definitely a nurturing, soft energy, and I just didn't want to demand anything from them. So I was really resistant to this idea of demanding things through source. Now, in the church that I attended, in the day of the robbery, I actually said, I'm a righteous child of God, and as such, I can't remember the words I used, but, I am a righteous, therefore it is my right to have, I think it was something like this, safety. And as a righteous child of God, I am safe. And so that was part of the languaging that day on the floor. So it's kind of like when your life is threatened, you know what really is bubbling up for you, right? And you know where you're standing. And on that day, it was interesting because I can remember the thought clearly. If I'm going to die today, I want to die in God. And that's how I started. And I am a righteous child of God, therefore I put myself in God's hands in that moment. And that's how I remember, that's how the whole breathing sequence and everything started on that particular day. So those were two of the things. The third thing, which I can't seem to remember right now, the third thing that came up is a discussion that I had with a friend of mine after class, and we've been kind of in a circular discussion about this, so I'm going to put it into spirit. I know what my impressions are, and the discussion basically goes, I go straight to God. And so when I'm in meditation or I'm getting a hit, or, who am I talking with? In my case, I know that I'm with the eternal infinite, and that people come forward, or guides come forward, in all shapes and forms. I mean, the traditional angels and avatars and wisdom keepers, ancestors. I mean, it's the collective consciousness, the collective conscious creator intelligence. So I know in my case, as she is talking about her evolution, so I bring it forward because a lot of this series has been about what happens as we evolve into our gift as conscious creators. And I actually had the same issue. It really does become elevated at times to the who am I talking to issue, because it gets in the way of knowing if I should act on what is coming forward, who's telling me what's going on, okay? And this I have an answer for myself that I have actually gotten clarified through this series about how to explain it, but I am going to leave it for spirit, and then tomorrow, if it's appropriate, or if we're on the same information track, I'll give you what my experience is at this moment, which is pretty much where I'm comfortable at and what I teach when I'm talking with people individually. So a lot of these times in the preamble, this is actually sort of the first time it's sort of a collection of, what happened in class and the discussion after class, and then sort of reminding the guidance that we were going to talk about this commanding. So, I had to resist the things to discuss list this morning. And it's so funny. The other thing is, in this continuum of no time and no space, that this this moment that we're spending together called 36 days, how is it going to evolve after this, and making sure that all of the questions get answered, and just sort of releasing myself into the love of the guidance. So I love you, and thank you so much for being here. Let's see what's going to bubble up and emerge. Namaste. Onono ni eke na ani ioko na iako na ie na anono ni yoko. Good day, good day, good day, good day, good day. Ioshiki yoko na ie na. Good day. Onono ni eshke na ioko na ieko ni ieski ie na. We think from a teaching standpoint, this morning we are going to start with the grounding. Ioko na ieke na anana yoko iena, and this idea of pulling yourself back into your physical space. Ieke na anana yoko. We did it as a conclusion yesterday with pretty much no explanation. Onono ni eshke na anana yoko okona. Journeying into the I am mind. That would indicate or connotate that there is some traveling that is occurring. And what specifically is Onononieke taking the journey? So you were in your space, Onononieshke, physically, Nononiena, in your meditation room, Ononieke, sitting in a chair, Ononieko Naniena. Typically, when people are journeying, Ononieko is not in an open public space, Iekena, and we would say journeying with intention. Ononieshkena. The room temperature is as you like it. We've talked about that. Ononieshkena, what nurtures you. Ononieshkena aniyoko, and you have some level of comfort. Ononieshkona iena, and for now we will say that and the other piece of it is that you're physically safe in your environment. You've selected a place where you are comfortable and safe. And then you close your eyes, and go through the filters of love and the unification of self, and entering this infinite space. Anononieshkena, the infinity, the unified infinity, Unonieshke, as we called it yesterday. And then through the breath, you consciously begin to Anononieshkena, meld into the infinite, Iokona Iena. And in some ways, in this series, we have Anonieshkena, Ononioko, not talked much about going through the eye of the needle, Yeshke Nanoniyoko. We have used the analogy more of you being a unique, individualized aspect or expression of the all, of God, Anananiyoshkona, and we've used the analogy of the ocean, and that Iyokona Naniyeke, every drop of water, Iokona Iena, makes up the ocean. Each is vital, Iekona, and each has a purpose, Iokona. Each brings something that is unique to this environment. Ono no Nieshkena, and each brings something to express into the environment. Ono no Nieshkena. Ananane o Yekena, as such, Yekena, you are an expression of this environment. Ono no Nieshkena, and as such, you have the we would say the ability, but you have the expressed characteristic of the environment itself. Therefore, any aspect of that environment is accessible to you. Onono ni ieshkena anana niyoko. Iena nani iekena nani yoko nani iekena nani yoko. So, anana yoko iekena. As such, iekena nanani yoko. You may be in contact with any intelligence that resides or is also an expression of this environment. Anananioko, in this environment, iekena, expresses itself through a number of different labels: God, it, source, creator, conscious intelligence, love, Onona ieshke, ananayoko, the divine, ieke, the universe, iokona iena. Iena nanonayoko, iena, and that expression of the name, iokona niena, may differ from human collective to human collective, or human group to human group, onona ieshkena, as Mercedes was saying this morning, in an attempt to organize that which cannot be expressed in tangible means. Iokona iena. So as such, iekena nanayoko, the expression or the characteristic, the uniqueness, iokona niekena, as you are Nyoko journeying through life, Irana Yoko, both in the physical form, in the way of your moment to moment, day to day, year to year living, Iokona Nieshkena, you express into this environment with every breath, thought, Anonieke, word, Iokona Ieke, action, Iokona Nanieko, Iokona Iena. And Yoko na iekena, nanioko, part of the journey, onononieke, is to understand two aspects of Nyoko, the trip. One is that in every expression, in every step, in every way, you are an expression of the all. Iokona. As such, there is no place to go. You are. It just is. Iokona iena. Ieshki iokona. There is some awareness that comes into this way, anananioko, of we would say a way of awareness, iokona nieke, and what we mean by that is the knowing and understanding that Iokona, everything is God, Ononiekena, everyone is God, Iokona, the expression of that which is seen is God, Ononioko, and the expression, which is an interesting word for the opposite of that, the expression of that which is not seen or invisible, Ioko, not known, Iokona is also part of the way, Iekena, or your journey, Ieshkona Iena. So in the physical, Ieshkena nanoyoko okona, Iekena, the journey is very tangible and real, nanoyoko, or touchable, maybe we would say. Ieshkena nanoyoko. Anoni eshke na ieko, and in moment to moment, iokona, instant to instant, iekena, inona yoko, event to event, iekena nani yoko. That which is before you can shift, change, move, or transform, ononieke, based on what you have seeded or planted, ieke nanani yoko, and what you command into your life for that moment, iokona iena. So when we talk about there is no time, ieke nanani yoko, and the instance is now, sort of an oxymoron, iokona nieke nanani yoko. Across all time and space, there is no containment, iokona, of this measure or attempt to organize, anonieke nananioko, ananieke, your breath, really, your existence, iokona iekena. Ananioko iananioko iekena. So in some ways there is no place to go. You just are. You just exist. In this human physical condition you call life. Iokona iena, iokona iekena. Ananiyoshkona niena. Now, in the energy Nyokuna, in the energetic frequencies, Iekena Nananioko, Ananieshke, thoughts become things. We've heard that before. That's become a popular phrase. Ioshkona Niekena. Words densify and become objects, objectify. I don't know if that's a word. Anonieshkena. So there is a misnomer, iokona, and this is partially the duality, that in the energetic realms you go somewhere, ieshkona, ieshkena, iena, but it is a coexistence. It is a merging and a melding. Ananiyoshkona iena. So in her early days, Iekena Nanioko, Mercedes would say Iekena Nioko, like she would go somewhere, do the healing, and come back, Iokona, and that was the sensations, like she had gone somewhere, Iokoniena. The truth is that she was becoming more aware of the energy systems, Iokona Nieke, which coexist with the denser frequencies of the physical systems, Iekena Nanioko Okona. So when we say journeying, Iokona Iekena Nanioko, or Mercedes says she's going to take her morning flight, Ieshkena Nanioko, it is really coming into a sensitivity or awareness of the energetic frequencies, Ieshkena Nanayoko Okona. So when we talk about grounding into, or coming back, it is really bringing yourself back into an awareness of the physical space. You are moving the dial back into your physical self. And you're choosing to move out of the energetic space. So in that sense, yes, you're moving from one frequency into another frequency, or one level of subtle awareness into another awareness, level of awareness. Iokona, ieshkena, iokona. So, in this world of reality and illusion, iokona, ieshkena, and it can be ieshkena, ononieke, confusing. Nyokona, and we could get into circular discussions about, did we leave or did we not, and where did we go and how did we get there, Yeshkona and Yeshkena. But it is a dialing into a level of awareness. Yes? Okay. Now, Onononi Yeshkena Anani Yoko Okona. When you shed the physical body, ieshkena nanioko, and return to your energetic self, iokona nanieke, there is a transition. Onono nieshkena nanioko. So there is no ieshkena intention for that to occur. Onono nieshkena iekena. So the level of attachment, we will say, there is always some level of attachment, iokona iena, to the physical self, iekena nananiyoko. Anani ieshkena oyoko iekena anani iekena naniyoko. And the level of deliberate activity, deliberate manipulation, deliberate energization, deliberate seeking of information and pulling it out of the consciousness, the infinite, onononieshkena, is part of the intention for this conversation that we've had over this period of time. Ononieke, during these sessions, iekona iena. Niyoko iekena ananieshkena. So understand, iena, that you have the ononiekena, yoko niekena, ieshkena. You are power and force, iekena nanioko, in consciousness. And as such, iokona iekena, with deliberate intention, ononiekena, as an aspect of that which all is, iekona nanieke, you may go into, ononieshkena, we like to change that language. You may exist in the space, iokona nanieke, at a number of different ways, iokona ieke, through your energetic self, iokona, and through your denser experience in your physical body, anonoyeshke, and the walk that you walk every day, iokona iena. So when we use the phrase grounding, it is consciously moving yourself back into the physical density, consciously moving the dial, as it were, back into the physical self, ieshkona iena. Ioko iekena nanieshkena. Sometimes, iokona nieke, the frequencies in the energetic realm, iokona nieke, like Mercedes said, her first experiences were so loving and nurturing, inononieshke, and she had gone through a period of such violence, iokona, emotionally, ononieke, physically, iokona, materially, inoniekena, that ononieke, this nurturing environment can feel very warm and comfy, and ononieshkena, you may have a tendency, or she may have had a tendency to want to stay there. Ononieshkena iokona. The other experience early on was iokona was this flooding of information, iokona nieshkena. It was like she was the vessel, and the only person that could deliver the message in this way was her, ioshkona ieshkena nani iokena. And that is partially true for every person, iokona iekena, but when you look at who is the best-selling novelist or the best-selling author, ononieshke, or the guru of information, iokona ieshkena, and how it's flowing through them, iekena, it is so that those people that are paying attuned to them, iokona, could hear the frequencies of them, yes? Okay, ononieshkena. So all of this information is flooding through, ononieshke, the projects and the hows and the whys and it's just all flooding through, ononieshke, and at some point it can become feeling overwhelming. So that is another thing that could happen, iokona, in your immediate experience as you come into this sort of conscious collaboration, ononieshkena, because your unique individualized expression, iokona nanieke, has unique individualized ways, oniyoko ononiekena, of bringing forth the joy into this world, inonieshkena iena. So, ieshkona, going back to the grounding, what we are saying in any language that you choose, Yono-no-ni-eshkena, or any way that you choose, Iekena-na-ni-yoko, is that you are consciously bringing your thought processes, your energetic self, your Anoni-yoshikona-ni-eke, back into the denser frequencies, Iokona-iena. For existing in the denser frequencies while still being in the energetic frequencies can cause some very interesting exchanges. Ono-no-ni-eshkena, Iokona-iena. Sensations as well. Excuse me. Ononieshkena-na-yoko. Earlier in like Onieke 16, 17, 18, those days, I think, around there, those sessions, Iokona, Mercedes could not feel the bottom half. She swung her legs out of the car, Iokona Nieke, and could not feel them. It was like she was walking on her waist, because she was still in the energetic frequencies. Well, at least half of her was. So we would say things like Anonieshkena. So this is why sometimes when people the other sensation that would happen is, which has happened, is whenever she finds herself eating and eating and eating and she does not feel full, then that is another indicator that she is still in the energetic frequencies. And that is sometimes why people gain weight, because not only are they eating, but they're not eating calorically valuable food. Ononieshkena, Ananiyoko. So, Anani-ieshkena, and then the other thing is sugar, Ananiyoko iena. There's a lot of false fuel in sugar, Iokona, so all of a sudden she doesn't even like candy that much, and then all of a sudden she's craving potato chips and Anoniyoko candy. So, as you go through your own unique individualized experiences, you will become aware of some of these things that may be indications that you're not fully back into your body, or that you have, or you're still attuned. Another way of saying it, back in your body, is something that the reason why we're using this phrasing is because as you start being in communities of people, that is language that they will be using. Okay? So for us to give you any other theoretical modeling of language, will just end up feeling like gibberish in the long run. You will hear words like get back in your body, you are not grounded, things like that. We're phrasing like that. So, we would take it to simply mean Ananiyoko, moving back along the frequency, dialing into the denser frequency. Let's get back into your body. That was the other phrasing that you will hear, get back into your body. Ananiyoshiko, ground. Inananieke. Simply means dialing the frequency back into the physical from the energetic frequencies. Now, why this journey that we've been on for this length of time? There was many, and are still many to go. Subtle nuances, why our healers in particular, are not dialing in to the frequencies of moving out of the energetic, that into the densified fields, that which will make their world joyous. Often this is money. Let's just be frank about it. The tools of abundance, the tool of exchange, the tool of bringing forth in the physical frequencies, items of living, flourishing, Ono ni eshkena. Anoni yoko ni ena. So these subtle shifts, yokona iekena. It is our anoni yoko. It is our expression at this time, yokona iekena yonono niena, to fortify ieshkena, the loving service, yokona iekena, into a densified prosperity. Ananani yoshkona iekena. Both iokona iekena coexist iekena. Anani yoshkona iekena. Grounding these frequencies, iokona iekena, into the physical, iekona. So just as you were talking about grounding yourself, yokona, bringing your energetic self into the physical density of your physical living. Yoshkona, same concept. Onononi yekena. Now, commanding. Onononi yeshkena. It is very interesting because Mercedes is saying, I bring forth. That wording comes to, I bring forth, as the I am, I bring forth. Commanding, co-creating, or Anani ieshke, collaboratively, iokona, anani ieshkena. I stand in the authority as the I am, anoni yoshkona iena. There is no, the understanding of showing up every day, iokona iekona, and the understanding, onona yeke, of the ananioko, the expression, or iokona nieke, we would even put it into the term of technical aspects of onononi ieshke, unifying your infinity into the infinite all, ononi ieshkena, is ononi ieshkena, one of those things of practice makes perfect, ieshkona niekena. But we would not even say it in that way. What we would say is that your consistent exposure to the understandings of the energetic subtle realm and the way that you would pull it into the physical realm is one of your divine rights, and coming up with the bubbling up of what is right action in any given situation, and knowing that all aspects of the one law is available to you in any breath to implement and activate. So the more you have exposure and understanding and a sensitivity and an awareness of these subtle frequencies, the more that they are immediately at your at your fingertips, because the moment is now. I command now that it exists now. It is done through law now. As an aspect of the I am, as the aspect of the infinite all, I am coming forth to pull out, to draw out that which is required for this transformational shift now. So the answer to whether or not we go to this may even seem a little blasphemous, Jesus, Buddha, Christ, the archangels, these are aspects of the infinite all, available to assist you in the implementation of your now. Onononieshkena iekona niekena. However, be clear. Your word and your spoken word is the way. Anananieshke, your understanding that you have the ability to be anananioko, to be the isness, anononieshkena, anananayoko okona, that the is you now. Anononioshkona iekena. And the consciousness, the way that you come forward into the all, Yashkona Naniekena, and plant the seed, Yokona Iekena, affects the Yokona outcome. Yeshkena Nananioko Okona. So yes, definitely identify Anononieshkena with the energetic Yokona guidance of the wise ones who have walked this frequency before you. And as you, quite frankly, Yokona Iena. Because if your belief system is, and this is a belief system, if your belief system is Yokona na Yeke, that Yokona ni Yeke na Niyoko, this consciousness exists. This source energy, Anono ni Yeke na, redefines itself and manifests into that which you, Ananayoko, command through your voice. Yakona Ieshkena. Command through your planting. Yeshkena, with deliberation, Yekena, Yokona, and purposeful intent, Yekena Nanayoko, then every aspect of the divine, every aspect of source that comes forward, Ananayoko, to assist you, Yekena Nanayoko, is an aspect of this consciousness. The planting of the seed is your responsibility. The planting of the seed is your aspect of love. The planting of the seed is your intentional manifestation. Everything from that moment forward is Iokona Iekena, a conspiracy of all aspects of the conscious creative of Source to nurture that seed to fruition. So it may be the combination of your internal guidance system, your angels, your avatars, your Christ, your God, to nurture that seed to sprout, to mature, and to be reaped, produce the fruit, the outcome, the effect. So do you think that maybe you're planting a seed and saying maybe perhaps I might if only the Noniyeshkena? Noniyeshkona Yekena Yena. I command as authority. I command by the authority of the law. As an aspect of the I am, that. Yeshkena. Onono Yeshkena no Yoko Iena. Iekena no Yoko Iena. Or, perhaps maybe if y'all want to help me out here, I'd really appreciate it if this can show up. Onono Yeshkena no Yoko. I mean, you can even practice. You could maybe not practice anything in particular, but even just practice saying, I command through the authority of the I am that, like whatever language, as the I am, it is commanded that, whatever language you come up with that feels empowered to you, or you can just sort of say something and plant it into the dirt, plant it into the ground, now, and sort of see what shows up. Now. It's that fundamental. Yokona. The image of tomato plant. So if you want a tomato plant, you want what do you call those? Beef eater tomatoes or cherry tomatoes or Roma tomatoes, then specific characteristics may be stated. But you just want tomatoes, then plant tomatoes, just scatter them out there, and see what comes up. Oh, look, I got aroma, now. Beef eater would have been nice, but, I got aroma, that's okay, I can work with it, now. And then there's the aspect of allowing, because even that which you think you desire that's been so spelt out, characteristic by characteristic, but the universe says, like this really, spectacular new tomato out there that you didn't even know existed. So, so people use phrases like, if not this, something better, Iyashkona, Inaniyoko, in my divine highest good, present to me the best tomato, the juiciest tomato, Yakona. Do you know that some tomatoes are not even red? They're yellow or purple. So you have in mind that this red tomato is, going to be perfect. But the universe is saying, but there's this really great golden tomato out here. So with the allowance of allowing the infinite unknown, the invisible, the unseen, and all of its wonderful, magnificent characteristics that is going to serve you well through love and joy and peace, and yes, freedom, Yokona, that the sacred seeds, Yokona, Ananiyoko, can be harvested and replanted, Yoshkona, because there is a cycle of life. So that which you reap, you are putting back into the world in some way. It does not stay stagnant. Everything moves, shifts, matures, and then gets somehow recycled, and the energy is transformed in some way. But that is why so we would say, let's see, the word emergency is coming up. That is why in cases of emergency, when in that moment you are in a space and it is like, now, we need this now. I need this now. It needs to look like this now. I'm entrusting the synchronicities and the collaborations of the unknown to come to me now to XYZ. Onononi ieshke. In cases of emergencies, ononi ieshke na, the action or the seeding, iokona, and the reaping are almost instantaneous. In the dimension of time and space. Nono ieshkona iekena uyuko ikena anani ieshkena. It doesn't have to be an emergency. Nono ieshkena. Now, unoni yoko iekena. The idea around reality, truth, illusion, onononi ieshkena ni yoko na. So many different ways of expression that may vary from within the individual human. Nonieshke, from incident type to incident type. Nonieshke. So Onononieshke yokona. The truth Yashkiyokona has a way of revealing itself. Ononi ieshkena yokona. The truth has a way of revealing itself. Yoshkona iekena niyokon. It is so interesting that often the unveiling or the revealing or the witnessing or the noniyeke coming into awareness of the truth, ieshkona niyekena, means that that which you were seeing before you as real, ieshkona iekena, becomes you come into the understanding that it was in actuality an illusion. Onononieshkena. And this illusion, iekena, becomes a change in perception, iokona iena. So then something else before you becomes real. So then in that moment, what you were seeing is real for you, ieshkona niena. Then the truth is revealed, iekona, in some way. Iekona iekena, and that what you perceive to be real, iekona iekena, is an illusion, iekona iekena. And then you were presented with a new perception, iekona iekena, which you believe to be real, iekona ieshkena ikena, and so on and so forth. Your ability, iokona niekena, to see the invisible illusion, iokona iekona, before the visible truth or reality, iokona iekena, iokona iekena, is a cycle. No, that which you believe to be true as a 2-year-old may not be that which you believe to be true as a 20-year-old. So was the truth, ie kona, to the 2-year-old, or real to the 2-year-old at that time? Was it real? Was it tangible? Could you feel it? Ie kona, smell it? Was it visible? Nanieke, could you naniyoko experience it through the 5 senses? Iokona, ieshkena. In the case of anger, ie kona, iena, naniyoko. That which angered you or stimulated the emotion, ononiyeshkena, may have been, quote, tangible, real, iokona ieke, by the 5 senses, iokona iena. And upon further contemplation or examination, iokona, or an exploration of self, iokona ieke, you come into different reality or different understanding, anananiyokona iena, which shifts your perception, iokona iekena, which allows you to be either more angry or less angry, iokona, more in love or less in love, iokona, however you'd like, less in fear, anger, fear, iokona. So that which makes the shift could be stimulated by that which was not seen, a new thought, a new way of seeing things, ioko, expanding the filter of love. Who knows what the stimulus is, iokona iekena. So the anger, the original anger, dissipates into illusion. You are now in a new state of God, really, nonieshkena. So when we talk about nanayoko iekena, when people take the stance that everything is an illusion, iokona iekena, this is nononieshke, everything is available for a subtle awareness, awareness of the subtleties, which shifts the present, quote unquote, in quotation marks, realness or reality, thus creating an illusion because it dissipates, and what appears is a new perception. So the iokona iekena, so the basic, the simplest, actually, is the word we've been using, sacred seeds, iokona niena, or joy, peace, and love, and freedom. And then any subset that you would like to put in there. Okay, calm, peace, happiness, glee, bliss, any whatever you choose to whatever hybrid or genesis, that's the word we would like to use, genesis of the smallest sacred seed is your spiritual truth. Your spiritual truth is ananayeshkona. I came here to be a being of light and love. I am here to be of service to the world. I am here to be we're using those other phrases, but to be love, be joy, be peace, be happiness, be freedom, be health, be wealth. So when you look at these other so when you're tuned into the perception of what is real in this moment, and as you move through your individual evolution or growth or awareness or perception, those kinds of words, that was what was real for you as a 2-year-old, Ananiyeshkona is not that which is real for you as a 20-year-old. Anononiyeshkena. That which was real for you when you woke up this morning, Yoshkona Niyekena, will not be that which is real for you at noon. Onononiyeshkena. And your ability to shift from Yeshkena, the perception of what is real, Ananiyeshkena, to the illusion, Ananiyekonaniyeke, is based on one of those sacred seeds or one of those spiritual truths, through law. Ananiyoshko. So when you energize or activate Ananiyoshko, something, when you plant a seed, to shift Ananiyeke out of a present state into the truth of I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am love, I am joy, I am Ononiyeshke, the most sacred, simplest sacred seed, Ananiyoshkona. I am my spiritual essence, I am my spiritual truth, Anononiyeshkena. So, Iyanononiyeshkena nanoniyoko okona iyena naniyeke nanoniyoko okona. When you have an activation of a density in your body that is manifesting as illness, you are in the state of perception, that the seed that was planted, that manifested or created, the illness, is a misperception of the truth. Therefore, that is why we call that manifestation or effect an illusion. It is counter to the spiritual truth. However, in that particular instance, you are not in the subtle frequencies to perceive the spiritual truth. So, this is really a ononiyeshkena, ananiyoko, and we must add yokona, because of your human existence, yokona, this is part of the evolution. It is simply a part of the evolution. It is not a yokona, iena, like words like fight, my spiritual truth is health, wealth, joy, love, happiness, that is my spiritual truth. The spiritual truth is I can activate through law any shift that I desire. So the exercise becomes understanding your spiritual truth, and nyoshkona you understanding that you are comprehending, utilizing activating your presence as an aspect, a characteristic, an energized component, infinite, unified, complete, whole of the all, And sometimes, onono ni yeshike, in our human existence, yokona, anana, a little help from your friends, ieke na, standing as community, onono ni yeke, magnifies, anani yoko, that which you may not be able to evolve into yourself in that illusionary moment. Onono yeshike na iyoko na. So we think that is it. Onono yeshike na. And let's just pause for a moment. Most interesting. Onono yoshikona ieshike na. Most interesting. Ieshike na nani yoko okona. Nyoko niekana. The word discipline is coming up. Onono ni yeshike na nani yoko. We would nyoko na yeke na. We would caution about the attitude of being in discipline. Onono no yoshikona ieke na. And versus coming into a way of living. Onono no yoshikona ieke na. Just a different frequency, something for you to think about. Onono no yoshikona ie na. We believe iekona ieke na. That as you come into practice in the beginning, anana no yoko, showing up at the same time, ananiyeko, and doing the things that were discussed earlier, iokona iekena, it brings you into a practice, anono yeshkena. And maybe at that point there is some discipline, ananoniyoshko, as you come into anananiyoko, a way of living. Ananoniyoko. Just something to think about. Anananiyoko. Inaniyoko, softening the way for yourself, iokona, being in love and compassion, ononoyeke, weighing whether what has been taught here, iokona iekena, is something that resonates, inoniyoko, and that you can find entrainment, ananiyoko, with the harmonic, anoniyeke, come into a harmonic alignment and balance, ononoyeshke, with what is being discussed here. Iokona iena, and then Ioshkona iekena, coming into a softening. Nani yeshkona, a softening. Iokona niena. Anani yoko, allowing yourself, your humanity and your humanness. Iokona iena. Iokona iena. We love you, we love you, we love you. We are done. We love you. And we bid you adieu. Onono na yeshke na nanani yoko. We love you.